Red Bull is set to experience a huge blow after being suffered by a blessing and a boon. What is making Red Bull worried? Let's see. Because Daniel Ricciardo is not at the level of his present pairing, Helmut Marko has severely damaged Daniel Ricciardo's chances of succeeding Sergio Perez at Red Bull. From 2014 to 2018, Ricciardo competed for Red Bull for 5 seasons and won 7 Grand Prix. However, Ricciardo left when Max Verstappen rose to prominence, choosing instead to join Renault in 2019. When he signed for McLaren in 2021, he was just halfway through his 2-year contract, which marked the beginning of the end for the Honey Badger. 2 years into his 3-year contract, Ricciardo and McLaren called it quits on their collaboration when he was unable to rediscover his lost form and decided to forgo the 2023 season in favor of joining Red Bull as a reserve driver. He has put in a lot of training in the simulator for this job, but Marko claims he has not yet regained his previous level of speed and is not at the level of Perez or Verstappen. But Marko won't specify how much of a deviation he made from their lap times in the Red Bull simulator. These are internal details, he stated in a motorsport-total.com interview. He must have experienced something that reduced his level of competitiveness. Even though Marko's remarks aren't encouraging at all, Ricciardo is committed to getting a position on the grid for the following season. But he has stated unequivocally that he is looking to join a squad that can compete at the head of the field. He wants to rejoin a top team, Marko stated. He said those things. Additionally, I believe that he will benefit from this sabbatical from competitive sports, so that he may discover who he is and what his true goals are. The Austrian claims that this should also put an end to speculation that Ricciardo might take Nick de Vries's place at AlphaTauri, since he has no desire to race in that capacity. He explained why he is not the frontrunner for the position, citing Red Bull's junior drivers like Liam Lawson, as well as the fact that it is not an alternative because of the statements made by himself. AlphaTauri is what it is. It's Red Bull racing, after all. There is a whole different strain and atmosphere depending on whether you drive in midfield or the lead. We are aware of his attributes. The Renault age then began. There was a dip after McLaren arrived. We knew a different Ricciardo than that. Ricciardo is currently attempting to get back the smile he had when he was a Red Bull athlete. Marko remarked, "He does a very good job, does a lot of marketing and PR activities." Regarding Ricciardo, the 33-year-old has expressed his desire to avoid returning to the racing circuit at any cost. "I wasn't interested in just getting back into any car to drive an F1 car. Furthermore, I still don't see myself beginning over, re-establishing my job, and persevering for 10 more years. I appreciate I might not have every opportunity under the sun, but I want to win. I want to be back with a top team, and obviously a team where I have my confidence back and my mojo." There is a great deal of excitement leading up to the 2024 season, and things will be radically different the following year. Several clubs are about to undergo significant changes that will bring some entirely new players to the grid. Not only that, but there are also rumors of a shocking firing hanging over one driver whose year was filled with great disappointment. We will explain all of the grid's adjustments for 2024 in this video, so you know exactly what to anticipate for the upcoming season. Formula One's sprint weekend format, which has appeared 6 times this season, is scheduled to change before returning for the 2024 campaign. While most people are in the center and other individuals are huge fans of the sprint format, how can Formula One improve it? In an effort to give spectators more for their money and spice up the weekend with more competitive racing, the sprint format was added in 2021. Following 3 sprint weekends in each of the 2021 and 2022 seasons, the format was logically changed to eliminate the connection between the sprint and the Grand Prix, with each now having its qualifying and substitute the second practice session with a standalone sprint shootout, qualifying, on Saturday morning. For the 2023 season, the number of sprint events was also quadrupled to 6. An intriguing scheduling decision placed the final 3 of them throughout 4 race weekends at the end of the season, the last of which took place in Brazil. What are the most likely changes to happen in 2024? Though views vary around the paddock, almost everyone agrees that some fine-tuning is needed, and that seems almost guaranteed to occur during the winter. The way the races are now scheduled, there is too much time and activity that transpires between qualifying on Friday and the race on Sunday. I think it needs tweaking a bit more because even my dad, who's quite the Formula One fan, sometimes says to me, "So, just remind me, is it qualifying on Friday for the main race?" stated Tom McCullough, performance director of Aston Martin. And I just believe that the fans will become perplexed if someone at that level has questions. Our task is to retain the intensity of 2 races while putting it in a better, more understandable manner. Additionally, there is a drive to find a method to loosen parc fermé rules that come in after just one 60-minute session, especially from engineers. There are also debates about the sprint shootouts format since, At the moment, SQ1 and SQ2 require the usage of fresh medium tires before SQ3 allows the use of soft tires. Each sprint shootout session segment is likewise shorter than it is during regular qualifying. Could we see reverse grids in F1? Making the sprint a reverse grid race is one idea to liven it up. It's unclear if the championship standings or the qualifying sequence should be reversed, but that would be uncharted terrain for Formula One. Some drivers are open to competing in reverse grid races, which are a feature of other motorsport categories like F1 Academy. The best sprint race I ever had was when I started last, and so I'm in favor of the reverse order, Hamilton stated. Nevertheless, the 7-time world champion issued a warning. Unless we had that, then everyone will just try to qualify last. By flipping the order of a qualifying session, which also determines the grid for one of the 2 normal races in the series on a race weekend, F1 Academy circumvents that problem. However, by adopting the same strategy, F1 would lose the sprint shootout and return to having only 1 qualifying session. Moving to the next news, Ferrari's chief reveals drastic change coming to the engineering team. Ferrari team chief Frédéric Vasseur has revealed a huge engineer overhaul coming to the team in 2024. The Maranello-based squad has been struggling to put in the required performances so far this season and is currently in 4th position in the constructors' standings. Naomi Schiff of Sky Sports F1 stated, "I think a reverse grid could be an option and just have 1 qualifying. Make the Grand Prix qualifying the qualifying for the sprint and reverse the order, because everyone will be going full throttle in that case." Driver for Ferrari Carlos Sainz is advising patience with a format that is, comparatively speaking, still relatively new to the sport. Says the Spaniard, "It wouldn't bother me. Since Formula One is now using the sprint format as a bit of an experiment, I believe we should continue testing different formats to determine whatever works best." Moving on. Mercedes has faced several difficulties this season, and while it has been on the back foot versus Red Bull, the advancement it had planned to achieve with the W14 has not materialized. It quickly realized that, in comparison to competitors who are running considerably closer to the ground, it had miscalculated the general concept of the car and had tried to run its aero platform too high, giving away too much speed. The team thinks that simplifying its strategy significantly for 2024 will pay off and enable George Russell and Lewis Hamilton to challenge pace-setter Red Bull on an even playing field. The task at hand appears to be enormous, though, given Red Bull's overwhelming performance in every race this F1 season with its benchmark RB19 car. Red Bull has probably been able to get a head start on the development of its RB20 because it has had a significant lead during the current campaign and hasn't needed to introduce a number of significant developments. The history of Formula One demonstrates that powerful teams may sustain their advantage for years at a time. Typically, the only thing that shakes things up is a change in regulations, as demonstrated by the 2021 floor revisions that benefited Red Bull and harmed Mercedes. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, don't forget to hit that like button below. And if you want to stay updated with more great content like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking the red button and ringing the notification bell so you never miss any future content from us. Your support means the world to us.